Hey Collective, it's Anne Marie. I hope all of you are having an amazing weekend. I just did a reading, and as I was reviewing it and, just putting titles on it and all that and saved it my drafts, I kept getting, and there's two doves on top of this little awning over there. Interesting. Um, I kept getting more downloads and a nudge to do another video to speak more specifically about when we're reconnecting, when we're trying to reconnect with people. Not reconnect, and there's a male cardinal, a male and female cardinal, two doves, and I just saw an amazing post about doves. Was it doves or seagulls? It was doves. And then I just saw cardinals. This may be about love, but maybe about love then, Spirit. Thank you. Regardless, I did a video of reading about when we're healing those wounds, not reconnecting to old people, okay? The reading, and I encourage you to go back and watch the reading. This is just a side piece of that, of giving examples of real life examples and how I actually moved through it. So the reading was about opening our heart space back up to allow what's meant for us to come in. If you're somebody, whether you've been traumatized by the community, traumatized by your family, traumatized by friends, traumatized by past lovers or situationships or whatever. So this is connections with anything, right? Could also be connection with yourself. But when you're healing those wounds, and I use the example of me, and this is where I got the download to record another video to go into more detail and give other examples to help some people. So take what resonates, leave the rest. I just do what I'm told. I just do when the universe and the nature spirits nudge me to do something, I fucking do it. Who knows the outcome? It's not about outcomes, right? So I really started my journey in 2017. I've always had gifts and abilities, but I've had a huge, crazy, terrifying awakening since 2017. And since 2017, no matter what connections I got into, all of those things that I just mentioned, all of those groups, right? There was continued trauma and continued cycles. And it wasn't until I was a part of a spiritual community here that it finally, how they treated me was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, I'm not doing this shit anymore, right? I had to really look at these cycles. This group of people here in the spiritual community, first of all, they aren't who they fucking say they are. Okay, I cared and loved for them unconditionally, and they played with me. And what they didn't realize is that it was all too familiar to me. My family did this to me, friends group did this to me. I mean, past romantic connections, this is a huge cycle for me of, this trauma or this pain and backstabbing and lies and cheating and stealing and all that drama. I don't want to go into all that. It was nothing new to me. I experienced it in every area of my life at some point. And for many years, my whole life, because it started with my family as a child, I internalized that, right? And so I finally broke out of those false narratives that were spread about me, right? Like, I know I'm not these things that these people have said about me, regardless of who it was, right? It was their negative projections of them afraid of my light and me not wanting to speak the fucking truth for what I fucking saw, right? And then I became the problem. But it was when I walked away from that spiritual community, I was guided to by spirit, because there was a lot of fuck shit going on, a lot of darkness, a lot of fucking shady shit. And so there was years where I was healing. This started like in 2021, 2022, and of me walking away from things that no longer served me, people playing in my face, trying to humiliate me and just do me fucking dirty, right? And make fun of me and not see my light and all that shit, right? And I mean, I see things from a way different perspective now. I get it. When people aren't used to something authentic of the light, that has pure intentions, that isn't trying to harm anybody, when people aren't used to that shit, they reject it and they try to attack it, right? That's their job. My point being is that there was many years, quite a few years, up until about a year ago, that I was in this, I wouldn't say empty space, but I was healing and growing. I cut off all family, friends, community groups. Like I'm the queen of chopping people off. I'll chop the shit out of you. I'll cut you off quick. My sword is swift. It's more swift now than it's ever been in my entire life, because I don't allow no drama. Like, I'm done. Like, I don't explain myself. I just walk away. But there was this space of like loneliness and feeling isolated, but I knew that was part of the plan. I knew that's what it was, and I knew I wasn't going to shrivel up and die, that I had to go through this. I had to become my own sister, my own best friend, my own protector, my own lover, my own community, my own friend. I had to become all those things for myself. And it's been years. I mean, it's took me years to do this, because it's a lot of boundaries, a lot of asking myself, what would someone who loves themselves do? And then making that choice. It's easy to ask, but it's hard to follow through with that. Well, someone who loves themselves wouldn't allow this. And so, as comfortable as it is, I have to either confront the situation, walk away, or do what I need to do to remove myself, right? And so, as I started to reemerge, I noticed, and this, like this card, this unconditional center of heart, and also going beyond fear of connection, I really had a fear of going back out there and connecting with people. It hasn't even been romantic, because I've been celibate for quite a few years, and I haven't romantically entertained or dated or texted or anybody like that for quite a few years, right? Because I'll know when the person's right for me. So, and I don't need that outside validation of being a woman and all that, or attention. Like, I'm not being breadcrumbed. But when it came to community and connections, and regardless of I started volunteering again at the open shelter, and then I got through them. I found the jobs I've had the last couple years, through my constant, being seen at the open shelter, right, and getting job opportunities. And so slowly, I became friends with Shelly and Sarah, and I talk about them often. I've always been friends with Solomon, but I spent a lot of time with them. And in the beginning, it was very fearful for me. I was very scared, because I've had all these wounds when it came to women that were just nasty and backbiting on community. And even though Shelly and I aren't far in age, I mean, she has a motherly quality, but I see her more as like a friend. But she's also shown me, because she's such an amazing woman, and same with Sarah, the motherly energy and the friend energy and the community energy. So it was a slow process of me allowing these energies back into my life and trusting my healing, because I would watch what they would do and not what they would say. Time and time again, these people, especially Shelly, we've hung out outside of work and all that, and we chit chat. She has shown me time and time again that she's a solid person, right? She's a solid person for a lot of people in her life. I'm just going to say that. And it helped me. The wound was healed, but I had to really put myself out there and step through that fear. And it was a very slow process. It's been like almost a 2-year process where I've slowly trusted them and then shared parts of my journey with them. They know a lot about me, and building that connection. And because I started to trust that connection with them, all these other people in the community, especially with my new job, I trust myself, and I trust the connections with these amazing partners in the community. It's not about friendship. It's connecting again with a community, right? I mean, it is friendship for some of them. Like, I consider some of them are friends. We like hang out after work, go to bookstores, and just chit chat. And I'm showing up as myself now. And so that has not been a challenge, but being true to myself, because I've done all this shadow work, right? And so opening our hearts back up to community was a big one for me, because the communities I've been a part of were so toxic and so painful and so dark and so just wanting to hurt each other and talk about each other and just dirty, you know what I'm saying? Like messy. The community I'm a part of now was nothing like that. I wouldn't have been able to see that or trust it if I hadn't healed from it and allowed myself to be by myself and then become that for myself. Becoming my own community, providing my own resources, and trusting my own intuition, and trusting all these things. So now I have these amazing individuals around me that I consider my community, more than that. And that has brought in more community people for me, for a common goal that we all have. And so I know we're almost out of time. I kind of got sidetracked there, but I just wanted to share that personal experience, that it takes time. When we heal these wounds, a family, community, friends, whatever it is, We have to have that space by ourselves to become that for ourselves, and then walk through the fear to slowly allow what's meant for us into our lives and trust our intuition. What's meant for us is already ours.